And a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Americus, Georgia, Lady Kings Field. Today's non-conference softball doubleheader about to get underway. The visiting Blazers today from Valdosta State University taking on your GSW Lady Hurricanes. Leading things off for Valdosta State, third baseman number 24, Jessica Mole. We appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Beautiful spring afternoon in Americus. First pitch coming in there for a strike. Leadoff hitter for the Blazers, as I mentioned, the third baseman, Jessica Mole. Valdosta State comes into today's ball game with a record of 17-7. This pitch slapped to the second baseman, Sanders. She'll flip over underhand to Kersey at first, and there's quickly one away for the Blazers. Batting second, center fielder number 5, Taylor Hartenbach. 17-7 overall. Lady Hurricanes with a record of 10-11. These two teams met earlier in the season in Valdosta, both games down to the wire. But the Blazers did come out victorious in both contests, winning by scores of 4-3 and 6-5. Had to do in walk-off fashion, so we'll see if the Lady Hurricanes can change their fate here on the Fred Lade turf. Lady Canes Field. Quickly out, 2 strikes. And we appreciate you hanging with us through that little bit of a hiccup, but we are back. And we didn't miss a whole lot of action. Again, the first batter slapped a soft ground ball to the drawn-in second baseman. Underhand flip to first was the first out. And batter number 2 reached. This one is a hard hit ball to left field, down the line. It's going to be high enough, deep enough, and out of here. Home run for the Blazers, their third batter of the inning. That was Brandy Morgan, the left fielder. Sent it over the State Farm Insurance sign. Ginger Starlin over her banner over there in left field. So the Blazers jump out to a quick 2-0 lead. And you tuned in just in time to see that shot from Morgan. GSW starting pitcher today is number 14, Shannon Gibson. Cleanup batter, right fielder number 8, Cassie Cornelius. First pitch swinging. Line drive to center field, moving in and making the grab. For the Lady Hurricanes is Chloe Zeller. So 2 outs in the inning. Batting fifth, designated player number 6, Heather Robinson. In there for a strike. As I mentioned, the Lady Blazers overall 17-7. Georgia Southwestern 10-11 in play. These two teams meeting earlier in the season. As I catch back up to speed. Although I think you could hear me, you just couldn't see the action. Well, we've got that problem fixed, and we're ready for a great afternoon of softball here from Lady Canes Field. Just off the plate, 1-2. Starting pitcher for the Lady Canes, as I mentioned, Shannon Gibson. She's making her 9th appearance. This is her 8th start of the spring. She's pitched 29 innings, 23 hits coming in, 11 earned runs, 10 walks, 18 strikeouts. A record of 3-3, and leads the team with an ERA of 2.66. And that fly ball to center. Zoller stays busy in the first inning. Couple of fly balls out her way, but she makes both grabs, and the Lady Canes will finally grab the sticks for the first time. Little damage done in the first, though. However, a 2-run shot by Brandy Morgan puts the Blazers out in front early in this one. We're just underway. 2-0 your score. Bottom of the first inning coming up here in Americus. Thanks for tuning in today. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University softball on the Surge Sports Network. Michaela Barlow will lead things off for the Lady Hurricanes here this afternoon. GSW catcher steps in, getting the starting nod in the circle for Valdosta State, number 25, Casey Johnson. First pitch misses, second pitch. Waist-high fastball on the outer edge of the plate for a strike, evens the count up at 1-1. Johnson is making her 10th appearance, her 8th start. Barlow, high fly ball to center field on the run. Diving effort, not in time. It bounces and hits the wall. Michaela Barlow will stand up with a double to get things started for the Lady Hurricanes. Good hit to deep center field, just left of the flagpoles in center. Leadoff double for the Lady Canes. Now batting is the left fielder, number 16, Ansley Dean. So Johnson, as I mentioned, the starting pitcher for Valdosta State, 10th appearance, 8th start of the spring. She's thrown 3 complete games, 38 innings, 37 hits, 15 earned runs, 13 walks, 19 strikeouts. Opponents are batting .248 against her this spring. A 3-2 record and a 2.76 earned run average. The line and the throw, foul back. Evens the count up at 1-1. So both teams with a hit in the ball game. And don't forget, fans, if you like to have a little bit of the stats and numbers in front of you, you can go back to our website, or the easiest thing to do if you're watching on YouTube today is just go down to the description of today's broadcast. Head down to the description of today's broadcast and you can see the live stats links. There are different links for Game 1 versus Game 2. And Dean will do a good job to move the runner over to third base to bring up the freshman. First baseman number 20, Lauren Kersey. So Kersey had a pretty good game against Columbus State last week, the last time the Lady Hurricanes played. A couple of hits, and she's worked her average up to 306 this spring. Rock and throw. That one's in there for a strike. Kersey with a 306 batting average, 4 doubles, a couple of home runs, 15 RBIs, which ranks second on the club. 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Again, the live stats links for Game 1 versus Game 2 are different, so you'll have to if you know anybody that's watching, tuned in today, remind them they got to get out to pull those stats up in between contests. But you can have the figures right there and all the data. Follow along with your favorite player, whoever that may be, either of the schools playing today. A 1-2 pitch coming up to Kersey with a runner at third. Rock and throw. A little behind that one off the end of the bat and foul down the first base line. They'll take a minute to track it down, throw it back into play. Lady Hurricanes as a team come in with a batting average of 250. 250 team batting average as opposed to Valdosta State at 289. That one misses, a little tight, 2-2. GSW's team ERA, 5.18. Valdosta State at 2.9. Head coach of the visiting Blazers in his 11th season, Thomas Macera. Again at the helm for the Lady Hurricanes in her first season is Nikki Levering. Count evened up at 2-2. Popped up out of play behind us. Valdosta State, the visiting dugout here at Lady Canes Field on the first base side. Pretty much in black from head to toe today are the Lady Blazers. Ooh, line shot into right field. They'll try to get her at first base, not in time. Kersey beats it out, hard hit ball. Good diving effort over at first base from the Blazers. That was Hill reaching out for it, but too fast and passed her into right field. A base hit for Kersey, and her hot hitting ways continue. The lead has been cut in half now in the first inning. Now batting is the shortstop, number 22, Haley Tierce. So Haley Tierce will step in. Runner at first, one away for the Lady Canes. First pitch, a little tight. Rocking the pitch, foul back. Evens the count up at 1-1. Valdosta State again in the predominantly black jersey. His red blazer lettering across the front of the chest. Gray bars down both sleeves. That one in there. 1 and 2 now to Tears. GSW wearing their home white Adidas tops today with the blue GSW block lettering across the chest. Gray pants, white socks. All part of our Adidas apparel package. This one outside, 2 and 2. Foul back. 22 Tears will get another 2-2 look here in just a moment. Somewhat thin crowd. Kind of expected. The campus very quiet today as this is spring break week. GSW students and faculty fouled off again. So the campus as a whole very quiet this week. Plus a little bit early in the day, folks still not getting off of work. If there's anybody in town that wants to make a trip over to Lady Kings Field and watch the action, 2-2 pitch. Foul back again. Tears is hanging in there. Those that can make it out here will see some good softball in some beautiful conditions. Seems like we've been stuck at 2-2 for a while. Let's see what happens on this payoff pitch. Foul back again. Right back towards the camera. Pull down the line. That one's fair. It's going to roll into the corner. Kersey's going to be held up at third, and it's a stand-up double for Tierce and the Lady Hurricanes. Couple of runners in scoring position with one away. Bats have come out warm here this afternoon. That's the third hit of the ball game for the Lady Hurricanes. Runners again at second and third, only one away. At the plate is the right fielder, number 23, Elizabeth Wills. And that'll draw a quick visit to the circle to talk things over. Lady Hurricanes have been red hot out of the gates here. They trail, however, the long ball doing them in. A 2-run shot in the first inning for top half of the first inning for Valdosta State has given the Blazers the lead. So Wills will step in. That one at the knees on the outer half of the plate. Wills is batting .309 for the Lady Hurricanes. Tied for the team lead with 5 home runs. He's got 11 RBIs. She's walked 5 times, struck out 13, which does lead the team. Count evens up at 1-1. Infield drawn in a little bit on the left side. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Wills. This one a bouncer to second. They're going to try to get the runner back at third, and they're going to call Kersey out at third base. She was leaning too much and didn't give herself enough room to get back. The throw is on the money for the second out of the inning. So instead of it being second and third with 2 outs, it'll be first and second. At the plate is the pitcher, number 14, Shannon Gibson. So Gibson's got a chance to help her cause here. See if she can bring Tierce around from second. That one in there for a strike. Gibson a .326 batting average. 4 doubles. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts for Gibson so far this season. Wind up and the pitch, foul, pull foul. Game time temperature 57 degrees, so cool air but warm sunshine, 57 degrees. Sunny skies, hardly a cloud, not a cloud to be found. Bright blue skies, again a little crispness in the air, but a beautiful afternoon. 57 degrees, winds coming out of the northwest at 8 miles an hour. So the count's evened up at 2-2. There's 2 away. This one, Gibson reaches for it. Right field line, moving over and on the run. She'll make the grab just in fair territory to end the inning. So that was Cornelius making the grab over in right. And the Blazers come out of this with minimal damage from the Hurricanes' bats. But the Lady Canes have cut the lead in half. 2-1 your score after 1 inning. Game 1, we're just underway here from Lady Canes Field. Thanks for tuning in. Watching Georgia Southwestern State University softball on the Surge Sports Network. Logan Hill, the leadoff batter for Valdosta State in the 2nd inning. That one a little up in the zone from Gibson. Popped up foul, third base side rather. Logan Hill, a sophomore out of Lake Park, Georgia, is transferred in from USC Upstate. Hill batting .258 this season. Ground ball, that's going to get through a hole in the left side and into left field. Leadoff single here in the 2nd inning for the Blazers. Their 2nd hit of the ballgame. Now batting is the catcher number 3, Lacey Crandall. Bunt right back to Gibson in front of the circle. Easy play over to first. Does the job to move over the runner, however, and there'll be one away in the inning. The number 8 hitter in the lineup coming up for Valdosta State now. Shortstop, number 17, Tana McDaniel. McDaniel, a 5'7" senior, Brooksville, Georgia. Transferring in from Indian River. McDaniel, 194 batting average. This is her 13th start of the spring. That one rolls across the plate, and Gibson falls behind 2-0. McDaniel, 194 hitter, 7 hits, 2 of which have been for extra bases. She's got a double and a home run, 1 RBI, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Valdosta State 17-7 overall. They are 6-0 on the road this season. Like many teams, they've played a number of neutral site games as well. They're 6-2 in neutral play. Neutral site contests and 5-5 at home, but undefeated in road contests this spring. Line drive to center field. Nice play by Zeller out in center on the run, and she catches that scorcher right at her waist. Moving to her left. 2 outs in the inning. Second baseman, number 20, Danielle Patterson. Now the number 9 hitter in the Blazers lineup steps in. Patterson, a 5'3" senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, transferred from Tallahassee Community College. Patterson has started 20 of the first 24 games for Valdosta State this spring. .311 batting average. Double, couple of triples. Only been walked twice and only struck out 6 times, so she's up there swinging. 2-0 the count. This one will be slapped foul over the GSW dugout on the third base side. 2 balls and a strike now to Patterson. Gibson rolls this one out wide of the plate, away from the left-handed batter. The count will run to 3-1. This one slapped in the shallow left field. They had her played well on the run, moving in, and making the grab for the Lady Hurricanes will be Ansley Dean to end the inning. So no runs for Valdosta State in the second. We head to the bottom half of the second inning here from Lady Canes Field. 2-1 the Blazers lead. Appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Today's non-conference doubleheader matchup. We'll be back in a moment watching GSW softball on the Surge Sports Network. Freshman Cassidy Burton will lead things off for the Lady Hurricanes. Burton, the 5'4" freshman from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. The Burton family in town this week. Finally getting a taste of the southern weather. It was very cold and overcast yesterday and breezy. As our folks in Valdosta are well aware too, Valdosta State holding a men's golf tournament that the Hurricanes are participating in. The men's golf team down there that's wrapping up today. Kind of miserable conditions down there yesterday for golf, and the same was here in Americus. So they didn't quite, the Burton family, not quite getting to enjoy some southern warmth except in the hospitality. That's about it. Popped up, foul, and Burton will fall behind 0-2. Hanging and spending the week with the team, going over to Milledgeville for this weekend's Peach Belt Conference doubleheader against the Bobcats. 0-2 pitch. Caught the black. Burton will go down on strikes. So one away. Quickly for the Lady Canes in the second. Get us to the number 8 hitter. Designated player number 21, Allie Denny. So Allie Denny, left-handed batter, a 5'5" senior from McDonough, Georgia, Locust Grove High School. Pitch in there for a strike. Denny batting .214 this season, making her 9th start. A 1 pitch. A little bit low, evens the count up at 1-1. One pitch. That one up high a little bit on the outer half of the plate, perhaps drifting away from Denny as well. 2-1. Rock back and pitch popped up in the infield. Who's going to take it? It'll be the first baseman that almost had it pop out of her mitt. I don't think she had realized that it was going to kind of popping back out of the glove until she kind of brought it down and saw it and was like, wait a second now. So the first baseman makes the grab on the pop-up. That was Hill. And credit for the out there. Center fielder number 7, Chloe Zeller. Chloe Zeller, the number 9 hitter in the batting order today for the Lady Canes. Zeller, a 5'1" freshman, Flowery Branch, Georgia, Flowery Branch High School for Miss Zeller. Bats left, throws right. So Johnson looking to make quick work of the Lady Hurricanes here in the second inning. First 2 batters have been retired. Now we get to Zeller. That one in there for a strike. She falls behind in the count, 1-2. This one's going to be slapped. I think it's going to fall in. It does. One hops and to the left fielder. She'll grab it right over the top of the left field third base foul line. Morgan over there in left couldn't get to that one as it just dropped in front of her for a base hit. So a 2-out single from Zeller. We're back to the top of the order now. Catcher, Michaela Barlow. So Barlow led off the game with a hard hit double to center field that got over the center fielder's head. Stand up double to open up the game. She's getting her second at bat now. Barlow, 5'6" senior. She also bats left, throws right. And Baxley, Georgia, did transfer from ABAC, Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College over in Tifton. A strong junior college program here in the state of Georgia. Count evens up to Barlow at 1-1. Good cut, but fouled back. 1-2. Ooh, took something off of it, and Barlow watches it drop over the plate right at the knees for a strikeout. So she fooled her on that one. Barlow goes down on strikes. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Johnson. And the Blazers will look to add to their lead when we come back. We head off to the top of the 3rd inning. 2-1 the score here from Lady Canes Field. Game 1 of our afternoon doubleheader. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University softball on the Surge Sports Network. And third baseman Jessica Mole will open up the 3rd inning for Valdosta State, the #1 batter in the lineup this afternoon. So we're back to the top of the order. She offers at that first pitch. 0-1. When these two teams met earlier this season in Valdosta, and I believe they're going to call the batter out for stepping out of the box. The head coach coming down to talk things over with home plate umpire. Have a little discussion here, but when these two teams met in Valdosta, it was back in February 6th, as a matter of fact. Games couldn't have got much tighter. The opener took a couple of walk-offs in both games for Valdosta State to pull off the sweep. The first was a 4-3 decision that went to the 8th inning. Valdosta State pulled that one out in the second game. Again, it took a walk-off to give the Blazers a 6-5 win. So teams are evenly matched up the first time around. We'll see if that holds true again here this afternoon. At the plate is the center fielder Taylor Hartenbach. So Hartenbach steps in. Hartenbach, .358 batting average, second on the team, only to Mole, who was just up. .358 batting average, 9 doubles, a triple, and 7 home runs, which leads the Blazers. 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, also tops on the team. It's a ground ball that's going to get under the glove of Sanders and into right field for a base hit. An 8 .36 slugging percentage for Hartenbach. Again, actually second on the team, .859 for Mole, the first batter of the inning. So we'll get to Brandy Morgan. She's the one that line drive to Tier. She's got it, throw over to first, not in time. Just got back. It took a head first effort from Hartenbach. So they got past Morgan, who delivered the 2-run shot in the first inning. And there's 2 away. Right fielder Cassie Cornelius. Popped up behind home plate. That's one's going to get out of play. Actually hits the roof of our building as it comes down. The 0-1 from Gibson. She rolls that one over. Runner takes off for second. We'll get a stolen base. Good pitch to go on. As again, it was a off-speed pitch that rolled over home plate. 1-1. That one back to the fastball. So a stolen base. Stolen base for Hartenbach. Her 8th of the season. Ground ball. They're going to hold the runner up at third, so still a chance for Gibson to get out of this without any major damage. A 2-out single from Cornelius. And the runners on the corners now. Designated player Heather Robinson. So Heather Robinson steps in. 5'9" senior from right there in Valdosta. Hometown product, DeLowndes High School. Well, Gibson's got a chance to still get out of this now. Valdosta State has matched the Lady Hurricanes with 4 hits in the ball game. Two hits in this inning for VSU. First pitch misses. 1-0 offering coming up from Gibson here. She rocks back and delivers. Ground ball. Nice grab by Gibson to spear that one off the bounce and walk it over to first base for the final out of the inning. So good work. A couple of hits, but no runs for Valdosta State in the third. Hold on to their 2-1 lead. GSW looks to even this thing up when we return. Both teams with 4 hits, and neither side has committed an error yet in the ball game. 2.5 in the books. We'll be back in a moment from Lady Canes Field here on the Surge Sports Network. Left fielder Ansley Dean opening up the home half of the third inning. .208 batting average for Dean. A couple of doubles, an RBI, and 3 strikeouts on the season. That one misses, and Dean will get a look at a 2-0 offering here in just a moment. Dean, a freshman from Madison, Georgia, Morgan County High School. She's seen some action in the circle for the Lady Hurricanes. She's pitched 21 1/3 innings so far this season. Pitched a little bit against Columbus State in the last game for the Lady Hurricanes. Backhanded at short. The throw over to first. It's going to one hop in time. He's going to say it was. Took a nice bounce up into the first baseman's mitt. And they get Dean by the slimmest of margins, but the leadoff batter is retired. And here comes the hot-hitting Lauren Kersey. First baseman Lauren Kersey. So Kersey got a base hit in her first time up. Kersey was 2 for 5 when these teams met in Valdosta. 1 for 4, and then she came in a pinch hitting role for Denny in the nightcap and got a base hit as well. So got a couple of hits against the Blazers already this season. 1-1 pitch, up high, ball 2.
Back to 15th. We were 16th for a while. We were 17th at one point.
2-1 pitch in on the hands, popped up. It's going to get out of play just behind, drops just behind the Valdosta State dugout here on the first base side. So we've got a good crew up here in the press box bringing you today's broadcast. Our athletic director, Mike Leader, up here in the booth. I'll say she offered on that one, and it'll be a strikeout for Johnson. 2 outs in the inning. Shortstop Haley Tierce on the scoreboard and the game changer, which is Georgia, the softball team's stat keeping device for them. She's come up today. We've got pitcher Autumn Tripp on the working the board up here. Keeler McJunkin, the official scorer and sound producer, in-game music coordinator for today's ball games. This one double. It's gonna be popped up, drops on the roof of the GSW dugout, and Tierce is behind 0-2. Thanks to Shabrika down at the end. To my left, sitting right next to the camera. Your camera angle today as she's working the video graphics, bringing you all the in-game graphics on our YouTube station that you're watching here today. Hope you enjoy the filler, if you will. Kind of complete our broadcast production. So there's your crew. Another 0-2 pitch coming to Tierce. She's fouled off a bunch of them in her first at-bat and just would not go away. Now it's 1-2 to Tierce until she finally pulled a base hit, or actually a double down the left field line in her first at-bat. Fouled off a number of pitches before she finally was able to tag one into left field. 1-2 offering, another one coming up to Tierce here. Back and the throw, in on the hands, pulled foul. Rolls that one over the plate. Tierce won't bite on it, and the count will be even up At 2-2. Twos across the top of the board. At the plate, number 22. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We'll see what Tierce can do this go around. Pulled foul. That one hop the wall into the corner. She turned on it foul. Tierce, 5'10", junior from Warner Robins, Georgia, Houston County High School. The all-time leading home run hitter for the Lady Canes program here, and still only in her junior season. Another 2-2 pitch. A little bit low and inside. Count runs full to Tierce. Bases are empty. 2 outs in the inning, so if Tierce works the walk, not the worst thing in the world. Pulled foul again. Out in front of that one. Into the warm-up or bullpen area. This is the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to Tierce. She's made Casey Johnson work out there, both of her at-bats. This one will roll and bounce over the outer, well, actually between the plate and the inside line of the left batter's box, drawing the walk. So 2-out walk from Tierce. Did her work there. Right fielder Elizabeth Wills. Wills is 0 for 1 today. She's due for a little offense. I feel like she's been in somewhat of a funk over the doubleheader here. Big cut from the freshman. She fared well against the Blazers the last time they met. She was 2 for 3 with 2 home runs in the opener. And in game 2 from Valdosta, she was 0 for 3. So maybe perhaps the Blazers have figured out how to pitch to Elizabeth as she falls behind 0-2 in the count. So Johnson is out in front of the Lady Canes freshman, 5'8" freshman from Orlando, Florida, William R. Boone High School. The runner at first is Tierce. 1-2 pitch coming. High fly ball to left field. Coming in, one hop, not going to get there in time. Drops in for a base hit, and there you go. Wills has got herself a base hit. Her first of the afternoon. Runners at first and second now with 2 outs. Last 2 batters have found a way to get on for the Lady Hurricanes. They're trying to do it all here with 2 outs. It'll be up now to the pitcher to help her cause. Pitcher Shannon Gibson. Gibson's got a bit of a pop to her bat as well. She can get one out of here. This one slapped foul, first base side, out of play, out of the ballpark. Gibson's a 5'10" sophomore, Colborne, Ontario, Canada. To St. Mary's High School. 0-1 pitch. That one called strike. Perhaps just above the waist, right across the plate. Lady Hurricanes with 5 hits in the ball game, but only 1 run to show for it. Inside, did she hold up? And after a long point, he finally says yes, she did. So kind of kept the hand outreach to Gibson. She finally turned around. She's like, did I go or didn't I go? And she did go. So strikeout. And now I think that's what the brought coach levering down to have a word with the home plate umpire just to make sure that that was in fact the call. But she did offer, no appeal necessary. Home plate umpire rings her up on strike. So a big strikeout to end the inning. The Lady Hurricanes leave 2 on the bases. 3 innings complete here from Lady Canes Field. Valdosta State holding on to a slim 2-1 lead. We'll be back for the 4th in just a moment. Logan Hill, the leadoff batter for Valdosta State in the fourth, the first baseman for the Blazers. Hill with a hit her first time up. This one's going to be a pop-up easy play for Burton at third, right next to the bag for the quick out in the inning. Catcher Lacey Crandall. First pitch swinging up the middle. Sanders can't get there in time. And it's a line drive single to center field for Crandall. One away in the inning. Fifth hit of the ball game for Valdosta State. Shortstop, Tana McDaniel. McDaniel. Oh for 1. This one, a ground ball that's going to get past Sanders, so she's been busy on that side of the infield here the last two batters. Back-to-back hits to her side. This one more on the ground ball side versus the line drive from Crandall. Head coach Nikki Levering is going to step out to the circle and have a word with Gibson as the Blazers have managed to put 2 runners aboard, 1 out in the inning. Valdosta State 2 runs, 6 hits. Georgia Southwestern 1 run, 5 hits. Neither team has committed an error yet in the ball game. So Valdosta State has kind of had the Lady Canes number, to say the least. Tell you more about that in just a second. Danielle Patterson, the batter. Slapping this one, that's going to fall. Diving effort and a heck of a play. Holding onto it and making the grab right on top of the left field line is Ansley Dean. So one heck of a diving effort. Dean robbing Patterson of at least a single on that one. Fairly shallow ball that Dean makes the effort and gets the second out of the inning. So that's a big play. It leaves runners at first and second now for Valdosta State. However, they are back up to the top of the order, and the dangerous Jessica Mole steps in. 487 batting average coming into today's ball game. At the plate is the third baseman, Jessica Mole. She's 0 for 2 in the game, however. So Gibson has done all right to keep her in check to this point, but you feel like it just might be a matter of time before Mole comes through. Let's hope it's with the bases empty. Perhaps somewhere else down the line. 1-0-1 pitch. She reaches for this one. Is going to be a ground ball to Kersey. Takes a couple steps on the bag and no damage done. Valdosta State comes up empty in the fourth. I'll head to the bottom half of the fourth inning and tell you a little bit more about the history between these two teams when we come back on the Surge Sports Network. Leading off the home half of the fourth inning will be the Lady Canes third baseman, freshman Cassidy Burton. So this has been, first pitch fouled off. Been a series that has been one-sided. Valdosta State, it's been a perennial, AA Division II powerhouse throughout the years, and have feasted on the Lady Hurricanes since GSW joined the NCAA Division II ranks in 2006, and this would be the 2007, I guess, softball season. 26 times these two teams have met coming into today. 26 times Valdosta State has won. The Blazers have not dropped a decision to the Lady Hurricanes since they've started meeting, and perhaps the Lady Hurricanes are finally on the doorstep ready to break through on this one. Again, it took a couple of walk-offs earlier in the season to get the Blazers wins number 25 and 26 against GSW. Line drive to center field, but right to the center fielder Hartenbach, who makes the play, and there's one out. Now batting is the designated player, Allie Denny. Denny steps in, first pitch low for a ball. Allie Denny, 0 for 1 in the ball game. That one will catch the outside for a strike. This season, Valdosta State bounces over home plate for a ball. 2-1. When these two teams met back in February, Valdosta State was ranked 18th in the country. Off the end of the bat foul, evens up the count at 2-2. Stayed pretty hot throughout the first half of their season, but they did stumble this past weekend. Lost all three of their games, Gulf South Conference games at home. I mean, it's another good team, another good program, Alabama Huntsville. Fouled off, Denny stays alive. So with those three losses, Valdosta State again gets to that point where they're at now. It's 17-7. They're 7-5 in Gulf South play. Denny pulls this one foul between the line and the fence that surrounds the ballpark here at Lady Canes Field. (11-8), 10-0, 8-4. All the three scores this past weekend in that Huntsville series popped up. This one's going to drift onto the grass. Sliding effort and a heck of a play. That one's going to actually be made by the shortstop. She comes sliding in to make the grab. So McDaniel gets Denny for the second out of the inning. Lady Hurricanes are at their 9-hitter here, but she got a hit last time. Let's see what Zeller can do this time around. Center fielder, Chloe Zeller. One-0 pitch to Zeller. slapped into left field, right to the left fielder. She had him played perfectly. The grab made by Morgan to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for the Lady Hurricanes in the 4th. Motoring right along through this one. We'll head to the 5th. Valdosta State still holding on to that 2-1 lead. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Blazers. 1 run, 5 hits for GSW. Neither team yet still with an error in the ballgame. 4 innings complete. We'll be back in a moment from Lady Canes Field. You're watching GSW Softball on the Surge Sports Network. Center fielder Taylor Hartenbach, the leadoff batter for Valdosta State in the 5th. Had pitch misses, ball 1. Hard hit ball to left field. This could be trouble on the run, just in fair territory, making the grab is Dean. That one thought off the bat, perhaps enough power to get it over her head and into the corner, but Dean tracks it down for the first out of the inning. Just out of sight there on your camera broadcast. Dangerous hitter up now for the Blazers. We'll introduce her to the PA here for the crowd in attendance. Left fielder Brandy Morgan. Now, first pitch to Morgan, a ball. Brandy Morgan, 234 batting average. 3 doubles, 4 home runs. So 7 of her 15 hits this season have gone for extra bases. She's walked 13 times and only struck out 9. Morgan making this one pulled down the line, just a few yards foul. And down into the left field corner. 2 balls and a strike. Barlow will go out to have a word with Gibson, who's really settled down real well. She ran into a little trouble there half inning or so ago, but worked her way out of it. And with the exception of the 2-run bomb from Morgan that cleared the left field wall, she pitched a good job of managing the game. 3 balls and a strike now, 1 out in the inning. The rock back from Gibson in the fire. Hard ground ball to Tierce. She's got it. Over to first in plenty of time for the second out. So routine play as that ball just hugged the ground. And there's 2 away in the inning. Right fielder Cassie Cornelius. Oh. Yeah, Cornelius up. First pitch swinging. Chopped off a home plate and foul back behind Barlow. GSW catcher Cornelius 1 for 2 in the ball game. Took a little bit of something off of that one, but left it eyeball high across the plate for a ball. Evens up the count at 1-1. Gibson is a piece of that one. Into the dirt and foul, 1-2. So interesting. Gibson has managed to get the Blazers to scatter their 6 hits. She has, through these first 4 2/3 innings, no strikeouts, no walks. So everything's been on the gloves of her defense to come through and get the outs that she's needed as the Blazers have put the ball in play. Ooh. Off-speed pitch stays up in the zone a little bit. Too high for the home plate umpire's liking, and it'll stay even the count up at 2-2. Home plate crowd hoping he'd pull the trigger on that one. Apparently writing a little something in his notepad, perhaps issuing a warning to the GSW. Putting it in his chart. Yeah, so I believe he didn't like the disapproval coming from the GSW dugout, so a coach or bench warning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another one drilled into the dirt inside the batter's box this time to keep the count at 2-2. Gibson rocks back and delivers. Off-speed pitch out in front. High fly ball. Fair territory. Plenty of room just inside the line. Dean staying busy over there in left as Cornelius is out in front of that off-speed pitch. Pulled the string on it a little bit and final out of the inning. So another good inning by Gibson and company. No runs for Valdosta State in the 5th. Bottom half of the 5th inning coming up from Lady Canes Field when we come back. Thanks for tuning in to GSW Softball right here on the Surge Sports Network. Caleb Barlow, first pitch swinging, line drive to left field. Back on her horse and making the play with a, didn't have to go into a full out sprint to track that one down. A hard hit ball to the opposite field, but plenty of room for Morgan to track it down in fair territory. One pitch, one out here in the fifth inning for the Lady Hurricanes, who are back to the top of the order. That was Barlow, Lady Canes' leading hitter, who made that first out of the inning, and now left fielder Ansley Dean. Lady Hurricanes trying to foul tip off the handle. Couldn't pull that one out of the way, high and tight, and fouled it off to even up the count at 1-1. That one misses, 2-1. So Barlow's going to drop to, or dip to 1 for 3 as she led off the game with a double. Now has gotten out her last 2 at bats here this afternoon, so she's 1 for 3 from the plate. Hauled off by Dean. Evens up the count at 2-2. Dean 1 at bat so far in the game. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So she'll go down on strikes for the first time in the ballgame. First baseman Lauren Kurtzy. So Kurtzy will step in. Lauren is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Drove in the only Lady Hurricanes run in the ballgame. Slow ground ball to the shortstop, moving in, fires it over to first, and a 1-2-3 inning again. Quick work for Johnson. She's making her pitch count stay pretty low as she's worked through a couple of 3 up, 3 down innings. That's how the Lady Canes go in the 5th. To the 6th inning we head. Valdosta State with that 2-1 lead that they've had since the 1st inning. And now we'll carry it to the 6th. We'll be back in a moment. Big thanks to the Roman Oven Pizzeria. You saw their ad last half inning. Big sponsor of GSW Athletics, hometown restaurant establishment here. Anthony, we thank them for all their support of GSW Athletics. Can't get a better pizza buffet in town than the Roman Oven, but they've got a full menu. Plenty of good sandwiches, wraps, good eats over there. Check them out. Anthony and his crew over at the Roman Oven Pizzeria. Thanks for being a sponsor of GSW Athletics. We'll be back in a moment. So the designated player, Heather Robinson, will lead off the 6th inning for the visiting Blazers. Gibson keeps that one low. Took a little off of it. And Robinson able to hold off the first pitch of the inning. Good job by Shannon to quick spear that one out of the air before it could get past her and on to first base for an out. Nice 2-pitch out to open up the inning for the Lady Hurricanes defensively. First baseman Logan Hill. The number 6 hitter in the batting order for the Blazers. Logan Hill steps in. Hill is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. First pitch swinging, foul back. Six hits for Valdosta State, 5 of which have been singles. But the one damaging blow, the 2-run home run from Morgan in the first. No balls, 2 strikes now. As Gibson's out in front. See if she can get her to bite on one, get her first strikeout of the afternoon. Nope. One hopper to Burton. She'll throw on to first. Bang, bang play, and there's 2 outs in the inning. Catcher Lacey Crandall. Crandall's a .309 hitter coming into play today. 2 doubles, a home run, 6 RBIs over 21 games coming in. She's walked 11 times, only struck out 5 today. Today, Crandall is 1 for 1. Out in front again, Gibson will still in search of her first strikeout. She couldn't get the call on that one. Drifted a little too far outside, 1-2. That one rolls over home plate. As I mentioned, just a limited number of strikeouts so far this season for Crandall, so going to be a challenging strikeout for Gibson, but she gets it swinging right there. Crandall goes down on strikes, and how about that? Shannon Gibson with her first strikeout of the afternoon. Starting pitcher for the Lady Hurricanes. Gets one to end the 6th. Lady Hurricanes just can't break through. Will it finally happen? We'll have to wait and see if it's the 6th inning or if they can get it done. 2-1 the score in favor of Valdosta State. We'll be back in a moment here on the Surge Sports Network. Don't forget that you can catch our next broadcast on the Surge Sports Network this coming Friday. It'll be baseball action right on the other side of the parking lot that you can see out there in your view. Right field, beyond the right field wall, your parking lot, and just beyond that parking lot is the baseball diamond. Hurricanes Peach Belt Conference action this weekend. 3-game weekend set currently scheduled for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 1 a day, starting Friday night at 5. You can tune in. We'll go to on the air just a few moments before first pitch from Hurricane Stadium. Our next GSW Athletics broadcast on the Surge Sports Network. We'll be back in a moment. Lady Hurricanes in the middle of their lineup here to open up the 6th inning. Haley Tears, first pitch swinging, chop foul off the protective netting in front of the GSW dugout that was just put up this off season. A couple of minor improvements around the park, including that protection for both teams on both sides. Got some padding behind home plate that's been added. Used to be just a chain link fence that wrapped around from dugout to dugout. Now we got the padding back there, the GSW logo. 0-1 pitch, just misses. Not by much, 1-1. Fresh coat of paint on the foul poles. Like some other minor improvements here as we're always looking to get just a little bit better every year here at the ballpark, Lady Canes Park. This press box, just a few years old now. Things have really changed here lately for the program. 2 balls and a strike to Haley Tears. Tears, one of the Lady Canes' dangerous hitters, power hitter. This one pulled foul. Not enough time for Morgan to track it down, and it'll put the count back to 2-2 again. It seems like this has been a familiar spot for Tears. And the Valdosta State pitcher, Casey Johnson, who's still on, she also has settled down nicely since the first inning. Had a little rough patch there that she was able to work out of. That one hit a mile high, but foul out of the ballpark. Don't know if that one would have had enough distance. It would have been close if she had kept it in fair territory, but you could tell from the moment it left the bat that it was going to go well out of play, and so Tears will have to try again. There might be a big hit left in that. Oof, fastball high and outside, 3-2. Tears is 1 for 1 in the ball game. She walked her last time up. And she'll do battle with Johnson again. Another foul ball. This one hit much harder than the one before, but turned on even farther foul. Tears is out in front, another 3-2 pitch. She got into 10 or 11 pitches in her at-bat last time up against Johnson before drawing the walk. And we'll see how long this at-bat goes. Another 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. This time Johnson gets the better of it. And Tears will head back to the dugout with 1 out. Right fielder Elizabeth Wills. So Elizabeth Wills in there for a strike. Wills is come into the game with a .309 batting average, but kind of keep an eye on where she's been. High fly ball to left field, moving back, plenty of room in front of the wall, and making the grab is Morgan in left. So that one stays in the yard, and there's 2 away. Pitcher Shannon Gibson. Outside for a ball. Challenges her with a fastball up in the zone, goes after it and misses, 1-1. Johnson still bringing it here in her 6th inning of work. Rock back and throw, another fastball. This one she does get a piece of it, but fouls it back. Ooh, that one doesn't miss by much. Right about knee high outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Johnson. This one will end the inning, and the Lady Hurricanes are running out of time. For Johnson, that'll be her 7th strikeout of the ball game. Only one walk so far, as she's been very efficient on the hill, or in the circle rather. Correct myself there. 7th inning time. Game 1 of our doubleheader. It's been entertaining, but not a whole lot of offense since the first inning. 2-1 the score. All runs coming in that first frame. We'll be back in a moment for the 7th. Good pitching duel here in Game 1 of our afternoon doubleheader. Valdosta State and GSW. You're watching Lady Canes softball on the Surge Sports Network. Don't forget to visit our good friends over at Two Dukes Barbecue. They're about a block away from campus on the road behind us. You just follow it over to Tripp Street. Jay Duke and his wife cooking up some home-cooked barbecue. You can only get in Americus. Two Dukes Barbecue, good eating. And a big sponsor and a proud supporter of Georgia Southwestern Athletics. Make sure you stop by Two Dukes Barbecue. Get yourself a college combo. Thanks to Two Dukes Barbecue for being a proud sponsor of GSW Athletics. We'll be back in a moment. Shortstop Tana McDaniel fouled off the first pitch to open up the 7th inning. That one rolls over home plate and evens up the count at 1-1. Comes inside and misses. 2-1. In there for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Valdosta State, the 2-run homer in the first. They had a hit in the second, 2 hits in the third, 2 hits in the fourth. This one pulled foul, out of play. But have not recorded a hit since they got those 2 in the 4th inning. So a couple of good innings of work. And again, Gibson's been able to get out of trouble every time. 2 balls, 2 strikes, swing and a miss. Big strikeout to open up the 7th inning for Gibson, her second of the game. She's pitched 72 pitches now so far. Second baseman, Danielle Patterson. So Valdosta State's number 9 hitter in the lineup here in Game 1 steps in. Patterson 0 for 2 here in the opener. Gibson gonna sail that one high, and she's fallen behind 2-0. Slap foul right over the coach, Valdosta head coach at third base. Over his head and into the corner. It will eventually roll before Dean throws it back in. Two-one offering from Gibson. In there for a strike, 2-2. Nice play by Sanders as she was playing in, and that one bounced up. She was down in the crouch, bounced up almost by her head. Picked it up before it could get past her. Not hit particularly hard, but when you're playing that close, it comes at you pretty quick. No balls, or excuse me, 2 outs in the inning, but they are at the top of the order. And a dangerous hitter in third baseman, Jessica Mole. Mole is 0 for 3, however, in the ballgame. This one will be a ground ball to Tierce that goes under her glove, between her legs, and into the left field corner. Good speed. They're going to send her to third. Tierce can't pick it up on the relay. And good speed, and she'll end up at third base with an error on Haley Tierce. First error of the ball game, but it could be costly here unless Gibson can work her way out of it and rebound, shake it off. She'll have to face the number 2 hitter in the lineup, however, center fielder Taylor Hartenbach. But as has been the case today, every time that she's gotten into trouble, never enough to actually do any damage on the scoreboard. With another goose egg lingering, so hopefully Gibson can work it out with 2 outs here. Hartenbach is 1 for 2 in the ball game. In there for a strike. One. Ooh. Not a bad pitch, tough to lay off. Gibson can't get the call, however, and it'll be a 2-1. 2-1 pitch coming up to Hartenbach as she laid off of it. Rocks back and throws. That one's low, 3-1. That one on the inner half of the plate, about waist high. For a strike, 3-2. Count's gone full. Gibson was quiet in the K category until the last cut. She managed to get one in each of the last 2 innings. Let's see if she can end it up on a good note here against Hartenbach. 3-2 pitch. Nope. Ball 4. And that is the first walk. First walk of the game issued by Shannon Gibson here this afternoon. Brandy Morgan, she hit the 2-run blast in the first. Left fielder, Brandy Morgan. Gibson's got her to keep it in the park, though. However, 1 for 3 in the ball game since that opening inning. This is a ground ball to, oh no, in time. Woo! She'll still get, it'll still go 4-6 on the put out at second base. So a little assist from Sanders as she inadvertently gloves it over to Tierce over at second, and just in time to get the force. We'll see if that's all it takes to help the Lady Hurricanes get over the hump. They need 1 to tie now. That's better than what was lingering, a possible 2-run deficit if that play wasn't made at second base. 2-1 the score. Bottom of the 7th inning we go. We'll be back in a moment. It's been an exciting one so far. Come back for the finish here from Lady Canes Field on the Surge Sports Network. So the 7, 8, and 9 hitters are being called on to try to keep the Lady Canes in this ball game. Cassidy Burton will be the first of the bunch to step in, the Lady Hurricanes' third baseman. Burton is 0 for 2 in this one. This one's a line drive. It's going to be there. Diving effort by Morgan, not in time, and Burton leads off the 7th inning with a double. Shot to the left field gap, and Burton giving the Hurricanes a little life. The Lady Canes, runner in potentially in scoring position to lead off the 7th inning, and it looks like there'll be a discussion inside the circle. Denny, Zeller, and Barlow, the next 3 batters for the Lady Hurricanes. 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. We'll be back in a moment. Allie Denny squares to bunt. Offers at it, can't make contact. 0-1 the count. Defense in at the corners, especially at the third base side. The first baseman just about a step in front of the bag for Valdosta State. Denny checking the wristband for the call. Took a moment to find where that call was on the wristband. There she bunts it backwards in the dirt and back to the catcher. Foul ball, 0-2. Burton will go back to second to get from the freshman to open up the inning. Good hit for Cassidy, who entered the ball game with a 188 batting average. Picked up her second double of the season, and it could have come at just the right time. We'll see if the Lady Canes can help her out. Popped up in the infield, however. This won't do it. The third baseman moves in and makes the grab just in front of the pitcher's circle. So pop out to Mole. First out. Number 9 hitter in the batting order up for the Lady Hurricanes. Center fielder Chloe Zeller. Time called. See what happens here. Is it Coach Nikki Levering coming down to talk to the home plate umpire? Might be a, let's see what's exactly the call. Looks like Zeller's coming back to the dugout. We'll see if there's a pinch hitter. We'll let you know when we get back. So head coach Nikki Levering will in fact dip into her bench and call on Brittany Childs, a 200 hitter, drifting foul. Thankfully that one falls in. It would have been a tough play for the first baseman. I think the shortstop, they were kind of both deciding who would ultimately be the one to go for it. And it falls in between both of them safely for the Lady Canes. So first pitch, a strike to Brittany Childs, a 200 hitter. This is only her 6th registered at-bat in there for a strike. 6th at-bat. She has 1 hit this season. She's been walked once and struck out once. So Brittany Childs, a Lady Hurricanes pitcher, most likely the pitcher in game number 2, getting called on. Foul tip. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Childs comes in. The 5'10 senior from Port Orange, Florida, Spruce Creek High School. Again, primarily a pitcher, but she does have a little pop to her bat as well. This one's a line drive to center field, but right there, moving in and to her left and making the grab for an all-important second out is Hartenbach. So Childs does get a good piece of it, but unfortunately it's too close to the vicinity of Hartenbach, and there's 2 outs in the inning. Lady Canes are back to the top of the order. At the plate, catcher Michaela Barlow. So Barlow will step in. She led off the game with a double. Going to be called on again to see if there's any magic in that bat. 1 for 3. So she with a strikeout along the way. Barlow's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Runner at second is Burton. 2 outs. Does she offer? Nope. Held back on that one, 2-0. If Barlow does manage to get on base, here with 2 outs in the inning, Ansley Dean on deck for the Lady Hurricanes. 2-0 offering, high pop-up. This is going to end the ball game in foul territory, and in fact the grab is made, and that'll do it. So Moles squeezes the final out of the game, and the Lady Hurricanes once again on the doorstep. But Valdosta State will run their streak of wins to 27 in a row against the Lady Hurricanes. This one another 1-run game, as have been the all 3 now this season. The final score in our opener, Valdosta State 2, Georgia Southwestern 1. Line score looks a little something like this. For the Blazers, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors in the ball game. Georgia Southwestern, 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error in our opener. Valdosta State scored their 2 runs on a 2-run shot from Brandy Morgan in the first inning. Lady Canes answered with a run in the bottom half of the first, rather. So all the runs in this game were scored in the first inning. Then the pitchers managed to work their way out of any potential trouble along the way. A good pitching duel between Casey Johnson from Valdosta State and Shannon Gibson, the starter for GSW. The RBI in the ball game for, I believe, went to Kersey. We'll make a double check on that real quick for you here, if I can pull up my live stats register. And the survey says the RBI, in fact, did go to Lauren Kersey. So that's who brought home the Lady Hurricanes run. Shannon Gibson's record will fall to 3-4 this season, and Johnson improves to 4-2. Gibson pitched, both pitchers went the distance. 2 strikeouts for Gibson. 2 strikeouts for Gibson. She allowed the 1 home run. Total pitches of 91 over the course of the ball game. And for Johnson, she struck out 7, walked 1, threw a total of 122 pitches over her 7 innings of work. So with the win, Valdosta State will improve to 18-7 overall. Georgia Southwestern falls to 10-12. The Lady Blazers, or the Blazers from Valdosta State, snap a 3-game losing skid with the win, and Georgia Southwestern's current streak now falls to 4 consecutive losses. Lady Hurricanes will see if they can earn a split in today's doubleheader. We'll go off the air for about 20-25 minutes. You can keep this up on your YouTube station, and we'll pop back up live when we go live. So hang with us. We'll see you back here in about 20 minutes. Thanks for tuning in to Game 1 of our afternoon doubleheader between Valdosta State University and the Georgia Southwestern State University Lady Hurricanes. You've been watching GSW Softball on the Surge Sports Network.